I'm here, Mr. Z. This is summer school. So this is AfroMic's summer school. But, you know, some Mr. Z all actually was here today. And so they sat in on the lesson. So we are practicing the power of silence, okay?
Power of silence.
So our focus for this summer is actually silent language. So how we have English, we will also have silent language course that we're doing for the summer because these are tools we're working on for AfroMic.
Ding, ding.
Yep, for AfroMic because he loves to talk. So he wants to learn how to have a proper conversation.
Stop, Zara. That's not appropriate anymore.
Please put the bat down. All right. So we learned about the power of silence. And so here are some of our notes. So I have a question for you.
Question time.
What is silence?
Silence is not moving, not doing anything, not even talking, not even making anything.
Yeah, so silence is no movement, no speech, no sound. It's like a pause if you hit pause on a TV show. Yes. It's like if something is frozen. So a pause is frozen, like it's frozen in time. So there's no movement, no speech, no sound. Okay. How do you know when you should be silent if you're about to have a conversation with somebody?
When you're about to have a conversation, how you know is because they're staring at you, like looking at you.
All right. So the power of silence. When AfroMic finally realized that I was focusing on him, he jumped into action because he felt the presence of the quiet. He knew something had been asked. That was the wrong thing you're answering. My question to you is, when you're about to talk to somebody, how do you know when to be silent?
How do you know when to be silent?
So how do you know it's not a good time to talk to me?
Because, like, if somebody was talking on the phone and you're like, hello, I want you to go outside.
Right. So when someone is having a conversation already, they could be having a conversation with you already, and then they ask you to hold on while they talk to somebody else, or they could be having a conversation already with somebody else. And when you want to say something to them, you should practice being silent first. Yes, because they're already doing something. They're already having a conversation. Okay, and so what's another time to practice being silent? So if you go to your notes, it's on the check plus box where you dial your check pluses. What's another time to practice being silent?
When someone having a conversation.
We already did that one.
What did you say?
When someone is thinking. How do you know that somebody is thinking? Do they say, I'm thinking? Sometimes. But how else do we know?
They're not engaged. They're just staring up into space.
Right. They look like they're thinking. All right, and at that time, it's probably better for us to practice some silence before we talk to them. Now, another time that we're focusing on is what? Well, not just when someone's having a conversation or when someone's thinking. What else is it?
When busy.
Yes, when someone is busy. So give me an example of someone being busy, AfroMic.
Hello. Yeah.
So other than the phone. Yes, but the phone is a good one. Other than the phone, what other examples do we have of someone being busy? Somebody's watching TV. Yep. And you walk in and you try to get their attention. Yep. All right. So how do we know when we're using our body that we have somebody's attention? Raiden, how do we know that we have somebody's attention?
How we know we have somebody's attention, they're looking at you.
Yes. Where are their eyes and their body? Where is it pointing? And you can feel the connection. You know when somebody is right there, right? Sometimes you feel the body heat, like you said. Now, how do we know that somebody is talking already or already having a conversation?
Because they're like on the phone and not.
So how do we know? How do we know? We don't just see them on the phone. We also what?
They're not paying attention to you.
We don't just see them on the phone. We also what?
We also see them.
Yep, but not just see them. We also what?
Listening.
Yes, listening for their voices. Okay? So if we listen for their voices, we know they're having a conversation. So your action step to practice this. So we're going to give you a little action thing to do. Therefore, you can practice what you just learned. And you learned the power of what, Raiden?
Silence.
Okay. So to practice that, we are going to do some waiting patiently. So when you go home today, you are going to Try your hardest to do this as many times as you can. You're going to track how many times you waited patiently for somebody who you were trying to get their attention, okay? So that's not just for your parents. That's not just for your auntie or your mom. That's also for your siblings. All right, say goodnight, Mr. Z.
Hey!